Good afternoon, my Real News Midday TV family. Welcome back to the channel for another news update. And in the news this afternoon, Fireman's family and friends in disbelief after stabbing death in US. Family members and friends of firefighter Shamir Mary were looking forward to his return on Wednesday, and the last thing they would have expected to hear was that he was killed in a stabbing incident, as they knew him to be a peacemaker. The 33-year-old resident of Rum Lane in Kingston, who recently went overseas on vacation leave, was reportedly killed during an incident with another Jamaican at a company in Gaylord, Michigan, where they were both temporary workers. Both men were reportedly found with severe lacerations and puncture wounds and were transported to the hospital, where Mary died while the other man underwent emergency surgery. Mary's sister, Shakina Mattox, who was in tears as she spoke with the news yesterday, said her brother's death has left the family in shock and grief. Everyone is in disbelief, like him shouldn't dead so. The way him dead, him no mix up. So if he dead by knife, me never imagine that. And me no know. My brother jovial, always a smile, humble, progressive, she said, sniffling. Him love him family, him love him two kids them. Mattox empathized that her brother was not a troublemaker, a fact that made his death all the more shocking to everyone. My brother is all about parties, fashion, him family, him work, football. My brother no trouble people, he's a peacemaker, him no do conflict, everyone can attest to that, she added. Asked how she was coping with his death, Mattox said, I am not doing well, me and my brother really close, we grew up together, I can't eat, I can't sleep, me have a baby and me can't function. Every minute me look on a picture with him, me gone in a tears, like me just numb. She said her mother, for whom her brother was the eldest and the second of two boys, is also not doing well and constantly breaks down in tears. Noting that her brother has two children, a 1-year-old and an 11-year-old son, she explained that the older child is really hurting. He cries and said the pain is more on the inside, Mattox said of her nephew. According to the grieving sister, her brother was looking forward to enjoying the rest of the summer with his children and upgrading his car on his return. At the Trenchtown fire station where Mary worked, the atmosphere was sorrowful as a co-worker spoke of him and how his death had affected them. They all chorused that he was one of the humblest persons they knew and that he was very quiet and reserved. One of his closest friends, Ramon Brevitt, said he was home on Saturday having connectivity issues when he checked his phone and saw 15 missed calls and was informed about the devastating news when he returned one of the calls. I hung up same time to hold me shock, he said while describing his colleague as an elite fireman who loved his job. He recalled with a smile one of his last conversations with Mary while he too was on leave. In the conversation, which was a three-way call with another colleague who is also on leave, Mary had said, if we not come back, the brigade in a shambles. Mary's best friend, Kamaru Morgan, who called him a brother, appeared very emotional and had to sit during an interview with the news. Yesterday when me hear me bawl, and when me go home, me want to sleep and can't sleep, he said. In the meantime, Mattox has said the family is anxious to know what exactly transpired, as they don't know the details except for what was in the media. We'd want to know because I work him go up to work, and we never hear of him being in anything, she said. Tragic bird shooting incident claims life in St. James. A bird shooting trip turned deadly on Saturday when a hunter lost his balance, causing his loaded weapon to discharge and fatally shoot one of his aides, killing him. The incident, which is reportedly being treated as a death by misadventure by the police, took place at a bird bush in Spot Valley, St. James. The deceased has been identified as Marlon Antonio Davis, a woodcarver from the Carey Park community, who was also known as a Nash. According to police reports, the incident took place around 6:30 a.m. as Davis was participating in a bird shooting activity with a group of individuals when explosions were heard. It is alleged that a licensed firearm holder within the group accidentally discharged his weapon, striking Davis under his armpit. The injured man was immediately transported to the hospital, but despite the efforts to save him, Davis succumbed to his injuries while receiving treatment. Davis's mother, Nora Walters, opened up about the tragic incident that robbed her of her last of 4 children. The doctor them tried to save him, but the scatter shot them destroy him organs them, she said. The wailing mother said that Davis was always of assistance in her time of need. Me tell him about my light bill, and him say him no have no money, but him a go bird bush, and him will get some money for help me, she said. The 2024 game bird shooting season began on Saturday and will run for 6 weekends. It closes on September 22. Walters told the news that this is not the first time that her son is serving as an aide to a hunter during the shooting season. She said that his participation last year was cut short after he sustained an injury while trying to retrieve birds that were shot. Right now him have steel in him foot, and 1 year now him broke him foot a bud bush, and now him dead a bird bush, the grieving mother said. She told the news that her son has left behind a 15-year-old daughter. Up to press time on Sunday, she had not spoken to her granddaughter about the tragic incident. "Me no know what to say to her," Walter said as the tears rolled down her cheeks. "Him no live to see him daughter go back to school September. Oh Jesus, Marlon gone, oh God," she wailed. Deborah Chin, Davis's common-law wife, described him as a loving and jovial man. Similarly, Orville Williams, a longtime friend, said that in addition to being a gifted woodcarver, Davis made a mean jerkfish. "He was such a jovial and fun-loving person. I miss his jerkfish and happy personality," Williams said. Green wants more government and the private sector support for Beryl-ravaged St. Bess. Member of Parliament for St. Elizabeth Southwestern, Floyd Green, is supporting the frustrated cries of Parati residents who are calling for faster restoration efforts in their community amid damage left by Hurricane Beryl nearly 7 weeks ago. Parati, a fishing village just a few miles outside of Black River, has been left without electricity after the Category 4 hurricane reared its ugly head on July 3. With St. Elizabeth receiving the hardest hit, recovery efforts have been slow, and residents recently told the news that their standard of living has been significantly affected. Ronise Wright, a fisherwoman and a business operator, said that she has lost all sources of income due to Beryl. She further complained that the lack of electricity in her community has severely impacted her ability to earn as a fisherwoman. This, she said, will also affect her children's ability to attend school in the upcoming school year, as she has had no resources to purchase supplies. Green, while speaking with the news in Parati recently, acknowledged the concerns raised by the residents and noted that efforts have been made to lobby on behalf of those affected. The yearly book vouchers and grant allowances are also still available at his Black River-based constituency office, he said. "It would have already been closed, but one of the things we have done this year is to reopen that process so that people can still go to the office and get some support," he noted. At the same time, Green said he has also requested additional support from the government and the private sector companies, inclusive of the Jamaica Public Service Foundation. "I have also had discussions with the Ministry of Education to look at those communities that are significantly impacted, not only in terms of damage to the houses, but also to the economy." Green added, "We have also reached out to the JPS Foundation to say that a part of the reality these communities face is because of the lack of electricity, and they are unable to do their regular economic activity, whether that be fishing or running their shops. I think if we take an all-hands approach, we can ensure that all of those children are back in school come Monday morning." Meanwhile, Green shared that approximately 60% of residents in his constituency have since received power, but the rural MP said the damage in his area is extensive. He pointed out that the passage of Hurricane Beryl has left many families both homeless and unemployed. "The damage is extensive. It spans multiple communities. At least 25 communities have been impacted, with 15 communities having at least 60% of their houses being damaged," Green said. He went on to state that support has been given to the affected residents, with additional resources being made available through the Agriculture and the Labor Ministries. Green also hinted at a program being aimed at the fisheries sector. Parenti is a fishing community, and so a part of what we did was take some time to get a good assessment of the people who have been damaged. The way our fisheries sector is set up, we can't just make an assessment right after the storm because they weren't able to go out to see if their traps are there, he explained. Guys, thank you for watching. See you this evening at 6 p.m. for another news update.